Understand that everything we go through is all part of our spiritual awakening. Okay? So understand that everybody has a purpose of what they do to serve in our life. Before we even got here, we already picked who our mother was going to be, who our daddy was going to be. We picked our own circumstances. We picked what we was going to go through. It was already divinely written who was going to be our brothers and sisters. It was already divinely written in the heavens. God already knew what we were going to have to endure before we even got here. Now, what happened was that we came here from spirit and got put in this physical body. And what happened was we got, because of our circumstances and what we have been through from the time we was first born all the way up to adulthood, what happened is the circumstances of what we've been through clouded who we are. It clouded the fact that we didn't even know who we are. We didn't understand that we are spiritually awakening, So that's just like, I'll give you an example. That's just like if somebody that's dealt with a lot of rejection and abandonment, right? So from childhood, if they dealt with a lot of rejection and abandonment from childhood, what happens is that they grow up wanting to please everybody. Because why? They don't want to feel rejected by anybody. They don't want to be abandoned. And so they grow up trying to please everybody instead of just honoring themselves. So what happened was that by that person going through such trauma or challenging moments as a child of being rejected and abandonment and not getting the affection and the love they needed properly and effectively, what happened was they grew up in a dysfunctional home, right? And so as they got older, they brought that dysfunctional home into their relationships. And so what happened is that the person never could really understand why they were going through what they were going through, but it was going to be a time, a place, and a day, in a moment where that person was going to spiritually be able to wake up and understand why they had to go through what they went through, why they had to have the family they had, why they had to endure the trauma or the challenging moments or the pain that they endured. It was going to be a time and a place that God and the universe and the divine angels was going to destine to wake that person up spiritually to understand why they had to go through what they went through. So what happens is that when we come to a place of spiritual awakening, we'll start to understand that everything that we've endured in this lifetime, it was meant to bring us to a massive spiritual awakening within ourselves internally. So the only way we get there, though, is when we change our perspective. Now, before you can change your perspective, you have to first forgive. But you can't forgive something that you can't see differently. Okay. And a lot of reasons why it's hard for us to forgive people and circumstances and situations is because our perspective, it has not changed. Your perspective is the same. So when you can change your perspective, then you can be able to forgive from a different level in a different way. But if you have the same old perspective, you will not be able to forgive effectively because it's from the same perspective and the same energy of forgiveness. But when you forgive, you want to be able to forgive people from a new level of energy, a new vibration. You want to be able to change your perspective so that you can see things from a totally different way. You want your thoughts to be different when you see a person or a circumstance or a situation. And so that's just like, I gave an example. That's just like if somebody been through a lot of rejection and abandonment, right? From the time they were born, right? And so what happens is that as they get older, okay, and then they come to a spiritual awakening, they'll start to their perspective will completely change, and they'll begin to understand that, okay, It was destined for me to get rejected by this person or that person. It was destined for me to get go through feeling abandoned by that circumstance or that situation or that person. Okay, it was destined for me to actually not get the love and the affection that I needed effectively and properly. It was destined. Why? Because I understand now that that's what brought me to my spiritual awakening. Okay, so when you look at challenging moments or pain, you got to understand that pain is meant to bring you up to a new level spiritually. It's meant to allow you to really, really understand that, okay, I've been in pain, I've been hurt, but it's not meant for me to stay right here. It's lessons. You see what I'm saying? So, in everything we go through, there is a lesson. It just really is. So I say this, that when your perspective change about a person or a situation, then you can forgive that person or that situation at a whole new level. When your thoughts change, your perspective change, and then you forgive from a new place in a new energy. So I just encourage everybody to understand that no matter the root of whatever you're dealing with, whether it's rejection, whether it's addiction, whether it's abandonment issues, whether it's low self-esteem, whether it's not loving yourself, whether it's whether it's an energy of neediness or feeling like you need relationships to validate yourself, whatever it is that you may have been through in your life that has been challenging or trauma or trigger for you, I just encourage you to understand that all of that you have been through is really to bring you to a spiritual awakening if you allow it to. Everybody got free will though. Nobody can force you to come to a spiritual awakening. Everybody got free will, so you can do what you want to do. But I just encourage you to really, really, really understand that if you do the internal work, you will come to a level of spiritual awakening to where you will begin to see a lot of things about yourself and a lot of things about what you have been through in this lifetime very differently, from a different perspective, from a new outlook, and your thoughts will be different. And then once you in that place, you'll be able to forgive people and situations and things from a new level. You'll have a new level of forgiveness. So understand that the people and the things and what you went through in your life, it was to bring you to a spiritual awakening. And when you can understand that, you'll understand that everything, people, circumstances, or the situation is served its purpose. If you came from a family that you dealt with a lot of rejection or abandonment or whatever the issues was, understand that that was just to bring you to a spiritual awakening as you got older. But understand that it served its purpose. And the purpose it served was to bring you to a new place. So everything, count it all joy. Like, really count it all joy. When you have setback moments, when you have moments where you've been faced with challenging times, or you have triggers, or you have moments where you feeling triggered by something that you like, count it all joy, even through the tears, because I'm telling you, everything that we go through as spirits being in this physical body, it is to bring us back to our original state and form we're supposed to be in, and that's spirit. These are just bodies we using temporarily, but everything we're going through is going to bring us back to our original form, our original state, our true being of who we are, and that's just spirit. That's energy. So I just wanted to get on here and share that really quick. You guys stay blessed. All right.